What's going on, YouTube? You're back with Shades, and we're continuing our Let's Play of Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, we confirmed that we went on our first date with Lily without being in a relationship. And it's super cute, and I'm totally involved. I'm invested. My word. I'm totally invested, and I'm so ready to squeal in delight and when they finally do the kissy kiss, and then cringe as they do the sexy sex. Ugh. Anyway. I walk down the hall of the girls' dormitories, my school bag in hand. A doll lies inside, carefully placed atop a small box. I've been carrying the box in there for a while now, still not sure what to do with it. This whole situation, come to think of it, is bizarre. While I've known of Hanako's upcoming birthday party for a while now, I had no idea of exactly what the celebration would be until I found a single note left in the abandoned tea room earlier today. I held it up and read it again, double-checking the instructions. The plain black handwriting's fairly legible, despite Lily's blindness. Clearly thanks to the considerable effort and care. Hisao, we'll be holding a party at my place. Come at 6 o'clock at tomb 225 in the girls' dormitory. Sorry for notifying you this way, but I have class representative duties. Lily Sato. Not reassured, I continue walking down the hallway until I reach Lily's dorm room. I hesitate for a second, but eventually give 3 sharp taps on the door. A brief and muffled exchange of words can be heard from the other side. Listening closer, I can pick on Hanako and Lily's voices. As I finish, Lily calls out, "Might that be Hisao?" "Yep, I got the note you left for me." "You can come in, the door is unlocked." Glad that I managed to get the right room, I press down on the handle and let myself in. As the door swings open, my greeting to them is stolen from my mouth. Why? Why is it stolen from your mouth? They're just sitting in their PJs. Then again, I'm really close to a lot of my gal pals, girlfriends on campus, and they don't care. Like, when you're in college, you just don't care. But I guess in Hisao's example, and because of how conservative the Japanese culture is, and if I'm getting louder, it's because the music's so goddamn loud. I can understand Hisao's reaction from a cultural standpoint. But for me, I wouldn't bat an eye. Lily sits at a low table in the center of the room in her pajamas, while on the other side sits Hanako in a nightgown. Being dressed in only my normal school clothes, I feel quite out of place. I steal a quick glance at the lovely sight of the two, my ears tearing themselves from— oh my god! My eyes tearing themselves from Lily's long, thin, and pale legs, only with a measure of reluctance. "Hi, I think I brought everything out that was needed." She smiles and nods. I wonder if she's even aware of the pleasant sight she makes. The thin, dark blue silk of her pajamas really suits her, accentuating both her eyes and her curves. Girl got curves like a racetrack! The look of her at last night, the tentative, almost shy demeanor, seems all replaced by her coy nature. It's nice to see her confidence return, though I can't help casting my mind back to how she looked back then. I look to Hanako, who nervously sits opposite her in her gown. This isn't a surprise that she'd wear something so conservative, though it looks definitely cute. "Hi, Hanako. Happy birthday." Thank you." She's unusually skittish, despite the fact that she's warmed up to me considerably over the weeks we've come to know each other. This is a pretty unusual situation, I guess. I happen to say I like Lily's choice of pajamas. Hisao's right, it does fit her very well. But I'm just gonna say that if I walked in that room and they were in their PJs, I'd be like, "Hey ladies, how's it going?" I would not bat an eye. "Feel free to take a seat, Hisao. I'll pour you two some tea." "Sure thing." Lily takes a steaming red teapot from the side of the table and gently pours its contents into our teacups as I take a seat beside them, setting my bag against a nearby wall. With my senses returned and hormones somewhat calmer, I realize that this is the first time I've ever been in Lily's room. Wow, hormones! You had to bring hormones into the conversation. I admit, when in a room of attractive women, I tend to think the same way he does, but I feel like I have better control than he does. The first thing I notice is the ambient smell, just slightly different from that in mine. Probably faint perfume or nail polish. Could be anything of a girl's, really. Another is the plain nature of the room, visually. Beige walls, a smart yet unadorned cabinet, the lack of— sorry guys, before this recording session I ate. and I'm having trouble burping. The lack of posters or wall hangings. It's distinctly utilitarian, something I should have anticipated given her blindness. The only thing that really seems out of place is oops. The only thing that really seems out of the ordinary is several piles of books sitting on the floor, each reaching from roughly knee height to waist height. Some of them have printed titles, others are entirely blank except for dots of braille. The fact that ones with printed titles are uniformly in English is interesting, though not completely unexpected. She did mention her parents' impressing language upon her, and you're Kira after all. Whoopsie. Your room looks nice, Lily. I hear a call of thanks from beside my shoulder, looking back to Hanako. Her gaze is fixed on her lap, and her hands are nervously clutching her gown. It's now that I notice why. With these clothes on, the extent of her scarring is far more visible, reaching down her neck and out to cover her right shoulder. Considering this is a party for her, she doesn't really look like she's enjoying the experience now that I'm here. So how old are you turning? 18? Her look of surprise, not at all helped by her total lack of skill at hiding her feelings, shows that she was trying to mentally tune me out. This is really quite awkward. Yes. Oh, on the plus side, there's only 2 more years till you can drink, so who's older, you or Lily? Lily, she's had her birthday in February. What about yours? Earlier this year, so it's already passed. Unstated is that it passed while I was stuck in the hospital. That was a particularly low point of the experience. The conversation with her dries up as quickly as expected. It isn't long before Lily's finished preparing our drinks, setting down the 3 teacups in front of us. I pick mine up, immediately noticing a much stronger aroma and taste than the tea we've been having. Huh? It tastes different than the tea we have in school. It's a different variety, rather than the kind we've been having there. You've never tasted orange huapur before? I'm gonna pretend that I know how to pronounce that. Hold on. How do you spell that? I'm gonna look it up right now. Okay guys, I'm back. Apparently it's a Chinese flavor. I'm just gonna say orange jiapur. I have no idea how to properly pronounce that. Because, I'm culturally ignorant. Not that I can remember. I usually drink coffee after all, like when we were in town. This is nice though. As we settle down and sip, Hanako seems to become more and more relaxed, or at least a bit less tense about my presence. We all finish our cups at about the same time, with Hanako failing rather badly at hiding her anticipation for the cake that's sitting to the side, begging to be eaten. Oh, she's such a little cutie, she wants her cake. Wow, I am so weird. The music stopped, oh my god, that was perfect. Come to think of it, I'm feeling very eager myself. First things first, though. Lily? Yes, now it's good. Each of us knowing exactly what the other means, I lean sideways and dig around in my bag for the doll I bought Hanako as Lily gets up and retrieves her gift. Hiding our gifts in our hands, we present them both on the table at the same time. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Hanako silently sits looking at them for seconds on end, out of sheer surprise. My little wooden doll, replete with a Victorian-era dress and little hat, lies next to a light brown and fluffy stuffed bear from Lily. She clutches at her gown as she moves to speak, not taking her eyes off the modest presents. Thank you, Lily and Hisao. Oh, she blushing. Oh, so cute. They're so cute. I would ship it if they weren't both straight. They could be bi, I don't know, but still. Adorable. Her voice begins to crack as Lily reaches forward, wrapping her in a soft embrace. Aww, they're so cute. The sight of Hanako holding Lily so tightly is heartwarming, so much so that I couldn't wipe a smile off my face even if I wanted to. As Lily gently rests her face on Hanako's head, she speaks so quietly and softly that I can barely hear. Happy birthday, Hanako. Happy birthday. Oh, this is so cute. I'm feeling emotions. I'm getting chills from said emotions. Guys, I'm feeling things. Oh, it's an odd experience, but I've felt these before, so don't worry about it. Hanako gives a small nod, holding onto Lily for a time before breaking off and wiping her eye. I guess that for Hanako, simply having someone, anyone to be there and love her would be special. The fact that Lily and I can now share that role for her is something I think I will always be grateful for. Oh my god! She's like a child! Oh man, Jesus Christ. What is this game doing to me? Oh, my heart. She's like a puppy. Hanako gently takes the doll and teddy bear, holding them both to her chest as she warmly smiles. For a long time, all three of us simply sit in happy silence. The quiet is not broken until Lily's soft voice beckons. Shall we have the cake then? Her proposal is met with 2 looks of unhidden anticipation. No argument from me. Okay. Aw, this is so sweet. Jesus. Phew, that was good. Wait, I said that in a Lily voice. Jesus Christ. I contentedly sit back, both Lily and Hanako looking just as satisfied with the food as I. It took some effort, but we managed to finish off the cake in one go. I don't think I could fit any more in. Oh yeah? Okay, I'm so sorry for the dirty joke. I am so sorry. I think next time I'll buy a smaller cake. Hanako and I give a chuckle, but I can't help but noticing that, coming this time next year, we'll have graduated from Yamaku. The fact is somewhat depressing, since I finally feel as if my life is starting to get back into some kind of order. I'd looking around Lily's neat and orderly room, her books catch my eye once again. This may be a little impetuous, but my curiosity gets the better of me. Besides, I don't think she'll mind in any case. Hey Lily, do you mind if I take a look at one of your books? You're quite welcome to, Hisao. That said, if you can overcome 2 language barriers, I'll be quite impressed. 2, Braille and... oh right, English. She gives a nod. I knew you were studying English, but I'm still amazed that you're this proficient at it. One could say it's a perfect way to avoid people borrowing my collection. She says it in jest, but I'm a little disappointed. Having all these books around me and no way of reading them feels like one big tease. Hanako giggles quietly as I reach over the closest pile, plucking the topmost book, with only a cursory glance. Death in the Nile, in large letters on the cover. There's only printed text to be seen. Ah, Braille. I don't know how Braille at all. It'd be nice to learn though, because it'd be interesting. I sit down for a while with the book open on my lap as Lily and Hanako talk. Try as I might to feel out the dots of Braille printed on each page, they seem to blend into one another and become indistinct. But I do know that, like, this is a letter, and I think this is a letter, but I wouldn't know what they are. So, I thought this to be a lot easier than it actually is. With some practice though, I could see someone getting a better sense of touch than mine, managing to read it at a pretty fast speed. Noticing a silence that had probably begun earlier, I look up from the dotted pages to see Lily smiling as Hanako sips another cup of tea. Is something wrong? Quite the opposite. Your curiosity is quite endearing. I'm inordinately pleased by the praise, though I can feel my cheeks heating up a little. Thanks, but I don't know how else I could act. To be honest, I wasn't altogether sure of how you saw us, since you're a new transfer student from another school. If you'd pitied us, I would have been quite offended. There's a certain edge to Lily's voice, one that I'd quite possibly place as pride. Glancing over to Hanako, she seems even more subdued than usual, looking towards Lily rather than me. I wouldn't worry about that, considering the position I found myself in. I'm perhaps the last person that should be dispensing pity on others. My parents' first interactions with me after my heart attack. I wouldn't want anyone to see that kind of face. I catch myself from going any further, but not soon enough. Both the girls seem to be put off, Lily especially. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gone that far. An awkward silence reigns for a few beats, thankfully ended as Lily's head perks up in a gesture I've come easily to recognize. Hear something? The door. Everyone looks towards it, trusting in Lily's senses. True enough, the door handle shudders and turns, a flash of yellow and black slipping through. It's an Akira! Akira Satsu's in the house! Happy birthday, Hanako! Jesus Christ, she's loud. Thank you. Akira takes a seat on the table as she plops her tall bag beside her. She has her trademark boisterous air about her, making no small deal of her entrance. Hanako clutches her gown to steady herself, but doesn't appear too shaken after she settles down. I guess she must have met Akira before, not a huge surprise given how close Akira and Lily are. Akira doesn't seem to be in the least bit put off by Hanako's scarring despite its prominence, but she also doesn't pull any punches in how she acts despite Hanako's shy nature. I thought you said you'd have to go to work, Akira. Did you manage to get off for a while? Sorry guys, my ear itches. Yeah, kinda. I feel bad about ditching the guys doing overtime, so I got to get back soon. But I felt bad about not coming to your cute little Hanako's birthday too, so for now I'm here. She grins widely at Hanako, who flowers into a full blush as she pins her eyes downward toward her lap. Her mouth seems to widen and retract over and over, as if she was trying to suppress a smile out of embarrassment. Oh, little cutie girl. Oh, she's so cute. It's a little strange how her reaction seems to be more immediate and forceful than when she's embarrassed by the way she looks. All she manages to give in return is a tiny nod, failing to hide her appreciation to any great extent. Not that many people give her positive attention, I suppose. It makes you respect how well Akira can handle her, making her so happy compared to what little I can do. Now then, before I go, she reaches into a bag beside her and grandly displays its contents. Oh no. Oh no! Please tell me that's not wine. I mean, wine's okay, I've had wine, but... No! They're underage! Out come 2 large glass bottles, both with long French names on the labels. Hanako's expression is an odd mix of surprise and curiosity, and I suspect mine's no different. Lily, not seeing the proceedings, is oblivious to what's going on. Akira, this isn't... What is it? Wine. 1 red, 1 white. Akira! That's... Relax, relax. It's not like Shizune's here to scold you. Lily has a point. That's not exactly allowed on campus. Or anywhere, really. We're still short of the legal drinking age, remember? Rich words for someone practically drooling as he examines a bottle. She got me there. I'm genuinely interested in trying some, even just a little. While Hanako may not be handling one herself, her look does tell me that she's far from opposed to the notion as well. Lily rubs her forehead, giving up the fight that she knows Akira would win due to her simply not caring enough about those funny rules and regulations. Just don't breathe a word of this to anyone in the school, please, I beg of you. I'm not stupid, don't worry. That said, I gotta get back to work pretty soon. So soon, but you've only just arrived. Sorry, Lily. Good to see you two again, though, and you, Hisao. See you later, then. Goodbye, Akira. She levers herself up with a grunt and waltzes out of the room, leaving us alone with 2 items on the table. Interesting. Lily gives a nervous giggle at her sister's antics as Hanako takes a wine bottle. So, what do you think, Lily? She rests her elbow on the table and pinches the bridge of her nose, thinking things through. She really doesn't seem to be able to keep up with her sister. Well, it's already here. We may as well have some. Please, please tell me this isn't going where I think it's going. Because I swear to bejesus that if it's going where I think it's going, this could end really, really badly. Or really, really well, depending on what happens, but Jesus Christ, oh God, no. I'm uncomfortable. No sooner does she say that, I take a quick glance around the room for glasses. A small groan above me reminds me that Lily retired to rest her for a bit a few minutes ago. Almost completely drained of her energy, I managed to stand up and drag myself to the side of the bed, sitting down, leaning my back against it. Good God. I knew it was going on this route. Jesus Christ. This is what happens when you give people who are not experienced drinkers alcohol. Well, except me. Well, it's like 'cause some people, well, if you're like me and you don't like testing your limits, you probably aren't gonna drink. But like, when you give people who are interested in alcohol, like, they're gonna drink as much as they can. Good God. Ugh. Lily's groan sounds lifeless. Too much to drink? My head hurts. Yeah, too much to drink. I rest my head back and idly stare at the ceiling. What an unmitigated disaster. Like proper idiots, we drank all the night away, with 1 glass after another. Hanako simply fell to the side asleep. It's a miracle I don't feel as ill as Lily. Guys, why? I mean, come on. I know you're in high school and all, and like you're like, at that age where you experiment with things. But Jesus Christ, come on, control yourselves. Hey, Hisao, I'm sorry about today. I didn't think this would happen. It's fine, Lily. To tell the truth, I had a lot of fun today. Really? I think Hanako did too. No, she certainly did. There's a short silence before another groan resounds from the supine Lily. You okay? As you said, I just drank too much. What's the time? The time, it's... I quickly look at my wristwatch. Its numerals barely legible in the gloom. About midnight. Curfew's in effect then. What the... Give me a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I'm kind of important this year, so I had to quickly check for an update. Yeah, I guessed as much. We'll all have to sleep here for tonight. As soon as I say it, I hear the sheets moving as Lily starts to sit up. Hanako. No, go back to sleep. Don't try to get up. Hisao, I have to... You're in worse shape than me by any stretch. Get some rest. But what about... I'll grab some spare blankets and put them over her. Don't worry. As I give a deep yawn to stand to retrieve them, I hear her lie back down with a soft thud. Thank you, Hisao. No problem. It's the least I can do. You look outright wasted. I'm not wasted. Just a little bit tired. She starts pouting, a slight slur beginning to distort her words as the alcohol takes hold of her again. I grab a couple blankets rolled up at the end of her bed. Quietly walking over to Hanako, I carefully lay the blankets over her peacefully sleeping figure, making sure not to wake her up. The thick smell of alcohol coming off her breath makes me doubt she'd wake up no matter what I did, though. I stand and take one last measure of the room. 2 girls, both very drunk, and 1 guy sleeping overnight with them in the female student dorm. What a scandal that'd be if it broke out. Oh dear. Oh dear. I knew at least it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Okay? At least it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. As I move to sit back down at the side of the bed, I steal one last glance at Lily. Her sprawling, disheveled figure lies resting peacefully, slightly turned to the side. I crouch down to get a better look. Really? Why? Her white skin blends in with the white pillow of the bed, a look of slumber-born peacefulness on her face. Usually she seems so confident and forward, always there and caring for Hanako. Now, though, she seems painfully delicate. I think back to Hanako's presence. I thought it'd be a nice occasion for her, but I'd hardly expect it to be so moving. One birthday after another, year after year. Just she and Lily, all alone. I guess it wasn't just the present she liked. Resigning myself to an uncomfortable sleep, I sit down on the side of the bed once again and rest my tired arms beside me. Hey, Hisao? Lily's voice is so quiet I can barely hear it. She must be on the verge of sleep. Yeah? Thank you. Thank you. For what? For being here. That's okay. As I hear a deep breath, it's obvious Lily's gone to sleep. After closing my eyes, it doesn't take long for slumber to take me as well. Ooh, scandalous. Hisao. Hisao, are you... The soft, barely audible voice lingering in my ears slowly wakes me. I wish I could be awoken like this more often. With a mumble, I slowly open my... Yeah! Yeah! Whoa, Taken by surprise as the face hovering curiously mere millimeters from mine, I make her heads collide with a harsh thud. The impact of our foreheads causes both of us to fall backwards and yelp in pain, Lily sounding more like a squeak toy than a person. Ow, ow, ow. I slowly rub my forehead with one hand, supporting myself with the other. Lily lies a few feet ahead, doing just the same, her face obviously pained. Sorry, your face was kinda close and I acted on reflex. You okay? My head. It seems she's not actually okay. Come to think of it, I doubt the impact alone is what's causing her head so much pain. Hangover? You drank a fair bit last night. She silently nods in confirmation as I lever myself up. I offer a hand to her and help her back onto her feet. Glancing behind her, I find that Hanako is still fast asleep. It's not fair. I only drank as much as you did. That's very different from what I remember. And anyway, girls have a lower tolerance than men. That's not sexist. It's true. It's biological. It's because men have a higher water concentration in their body than women do. Don't know why. They just do. Or is it the other way around? I don't remember. But I know it has something to do with the amount of water in the body. That doesn't help. Fine, I'll get you a glass of water. Just be careful not to trip over Hanako. I rub the sleep out of my eyes, or at least some of it, as I walk to the counter. Tending to someone with a hangover isn't the way I like to spend a morning. It's only a few seconds for the glass. It takes only a few seconds for the glass to fill, the clear water reflecting the sliver of light that makes it through the thin curtains. It looks like Lily's taking a seat on the side of the bed. I walk over to her while taking care to step over the peacefully sleeping Hanako and place the glass into her outstretched hands. There's a sink in there? I don't know how this room is set up. There's a sink? Alright, whatever, I guess. Thank you. No problem. I take a seat next to her, the soft bed having a surprising amount of give. She drinks slowly and methodically. A long silence passes with only Hanako's soft breathing to be heard. Aw, that's so cute, so cute. With some measure of guilt, I look at Lily's face and attempt to read her expression. Her brow is furrowed, that she looks to be lost in thought. For a moment I hesitate, but eventually place a hand on her shoulder in an attempt to reassure her. I didn't expect her to flinch rather noticeably at that, though. Sorry, I didn't mean to... Lily quickly shakes her head, in a manner somewhat more violent than usual for her. She takes a long breath to steady herself before letting her head sink. I must look terrible right now. I moved to protest, but quickly realized that it would be futile to do so. That said, I want her to open up more. If you want to talk about anything, I'm here. Lily gives a self-deprecating snort as if to mock her own emotions. There's just a lot happening right now. I'm sorry for being so strange recently, especially back when we were in town. Even now I'm a bit confused about everything. Believe me, I know how that feels. She smiles wistfully, resting a cheek on the back of her fingers. We're a couple of broken young fools, aren't we? Come on, don't say that. Come on, graduation, we'll be back into the real world. The real world? Sometimes I surprise myself with the way I think about things. I guess the strange divorced feeling of Yamaku and the surrounding town compared to the outside world still has to become natural. Maybe it never will. It's strange. In hindsight, being isolated from society like this doesn't feel as bad as it probably should. A wry grin on her face, Lily seems to share the same sense of amusement at the idea. Eventually, though, her smile drops. I'll be going back to Scotland for a week or two soon. Is that why we had to reschedule Hanako's birthday party? She gives an affirmative nod. You'll be able to see your family again, at least. You're not looking forward to it? I haven't met my family in 6 years. I don't even know how to act around them anymore. Wait, what? My mouth hangs open as I try to process what she said. If she's 18, that means she'd have been only 12 when they left. I may have seen very little of my parents, what with them both working long hours, but that's... I feel utterly useless as I struggle to find some way to respond. But why? Why did they leave, or why are they inviting Akira and me back? Both, I suppose. My father's business has its headquarters in Scotland, and an executive position has become available for him there. In the end, he had to move permanently. My mother followed him, but Akira and I stayed in Japan for the sake of both Akira's job with the Japanese branch of my father's company and my education. As for the latter, one of my aunts is gravely sick. I'm sorry. Don't be. It feels strange, really. We're being summoned there for her, yet we've barely met before. I can't even remember the sound of her voice. Equally strange is the total lack of antipathy she feels toward her family for doing such a thing. I can't help feeling slightly humbled. That said, her wistful exterior is just hiding her emotions. Seeing her like this is depressing. So it is family trouble that's her emotional trouble. So she hasn't seen her family in 6 years. That's honestly kinda off-putting. I can't imagine not seeing my family for 6 years. Knowing what to do, I lift myself off the bed. Lily notices the bed's movements, her head perking up and her hand reaching sideways to feel where I was. Hisao? I walk over to my bag, still leaning against the wall, unbuckling the front flap and retrieving the opaque bag from within. I take a small, plain box in my hands. Hold your hands out, Lily. She looks surprised for a moment, but eventually acquiesces. Ah, the music box! Sorry, my cold. I'm amused by her look of curiosity when I place the music box into her open palms. Her typically delicate way of handling it makes it seem as if it were fragile enough to break if breathed on. She wordlessly brings it in front of her face, her slender fingers feeling out its contours and patternings. Eventually her fingers find the recessed line between the lid and body of the box, and her thumb effortlessly pops open the lid. I take a seat on the bed next to her, watching her face silently and intently. She sits completely motionless as she listens to the diminutive tinny melody, her mouth just slightly open. It takes a long while before she closes the lid with a small snap, bringing the curtain down on the miniature performance playing in her hands. The smile on her face, gentle and wistful, shows that I made the right decision. Think of it as a going-away present for your trip to Scotland. I will. A restless shuffling can be heard from the floor in front of us, the sound of having woken Hanako. She climbs out of the blankets I put over her, looking befuddled and wiping the sleep from her eyes. I see her finally up. What? Hanako looks around the room, with her eyes only half open, her mind far from being as awake as her body. Her dazed state makes me and Lily chuckle. As Lily gets off the bed and turns to Hanako, I take one last look around the room. I guess I'd better get going then. There'll be questions if I'm seen leaving the girls' dormitories in the morning. Goodbye, Hisao. Oh, goodbye. I stand and walk to the door, picking up my somewhat lighter bag along the way. After I leave the room and enter the hallway, though, I hear Lily's footsteps behind me. What's wrong? Without a word, she strides up to me. I freeze as I feel her hand slide onto my cheek, seemingly every nerve taking in the feeling of her fingers and palm upon it. Immediately after, her face slowly moves next to mine, a light momentary touch of her lips brushing against my other cheek. For a moment, everything seems to stand still. I absentmindedly bring my fingers to my cheek as if to try and recapture the fleeting feeling. Lily. That's my thank you, Hisao. Thank you? For your present. Have a nice day in school. And with that, she disappears behind her door and gently closes it, the muffled voices of her and Hanako audible though it much as they were yesterday night. I think I'd be hard-pressed not to have a nice day after that. Okay, guys. I need to end the part here. She just kissed me on the cheek, and that was cute. It was adorbs. It was total adorbs. But I have to end the part here because I can't go too far over my 30-minute time limit. So, we're now exiting the shade. Oh wait, sorry, full outro. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos from me or from this series, hit the subscribe button. And you are now exiting the Shadyverse. My name's Shades, and I hope you've enjoyed your day in the shade. See you guys later.